Wrestling Games community, this is Conrad from Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans, and we are going to be talking a little AEW Fight Forever today. We want to get into some of the possibilities for DLC. AEW Fight Forever hasn't released yet. We do know a few of the DLC portions, but I wanted to give some thoughts and opinions, and maybe we could spark some interest with some ideas for possible DLCs for Fight Forever. Stay tuned if you guys are interested in that. Let's go.
Everything pro wrestling can never be you. Listen to the podcast here for the people. The best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin. The opinion and the lesson. Yes, everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you.
Thank you guys so much. If this is your first time here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Really helps us out in the YouTube algorithm. Like the video, and why not hit that bell as well? It definitely helps out with subscribing to the channel. I hope that you guys are enjoying your time here. Lots and lots for us to get into and talk about when it comes to this video game. I'm really excited for AEW Fight Forever. The plan currently is to have the game released sometime in June coming up. June 29th is the official release date. If you have pre-ordered the Elite Edition of the game, you should be able to get the game the day before, I believe on Wednesday. A lot of the pre-order stuff's been confusing. We do know what we're getting for the first DLC packs. We can run through that and kind of just get into what this is supposed to be, what it's going to become. This game looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, right? Things are happening with this. Things are changing. It looks really good. So the Elite Edition, here it is. You get the Matt Hardy DLC. You got the 3 season passes coming up. You're going to get some mini games with that. FTR, Keith Lee and the Bunny, Danhausen and Hookhausen. And you're also going to get the game. So those are the simplistic plans for what they want to do with the game. But I'm really interested in the DLC because it's been mentioned that DLC is not going to just be this one and done type of thing like we get with the WWE 2K games. And I'm interested in that because we saw how long 2K19 lasted, and I think that there are some doors that can be opened with doing something like this. Games like Fortnite and other video games have become very popular. But let's get into some ideas that are mine for what they could do for DLC, and some of these may not be possible. You may say, Conrad, you're out of your mind, bro. There's no way that these companies are going to be able to get all these people or fit all this into one pack. I know, but it's ideas, and I'm going to try to explain some of them, and maybe we can have some alternative ideas to it. So if you have your own, please leave them in the comments down below for me. I'd love to see them. First things first, let's get into what we can do with DLC. Now, there's a lot that could happen with this. Is any game perfect? No. So let's start there first and foremost. No game is perfect. Let's get into the first pack idea that I have. The first pack idea is the Pack of Honor. I've been talking about this since this game was released. You have your hands on a great library. It is Ring of Honor. And you now have some of the best wrestlers that you could put into this game for this. Now, would this be the first pack? Probably not, because one of the names in here you just got. I understand that. I completely get these things. So, the Pack of Honor DLC, though, is something that I've thought of for a while. And at first, I only had 5 guys in it. But if it's 2, 2, and 2, I'm going to try to follow that format. So, stick with me on this. Imagine if you got, for a season pass, Bryan Danielson. You could get Nigel McGuinness, Samoa Joe and CM Punk, and the Briscoes. If that's not an all-star lineup for Ring of Honor DLC, brother, I don't know what else to tell you. I think this is fan-freaking-tastic for what you could come up with for AEW. It looks really good. I think it would be great to have that. To have the modern-day Briscoes, RIP to Jay Briscoe. And look at, you got Punk, Samoa Joe, Bryan Danielson, Nigel McGuinness. It's a win-win. No complaints here from me on that. Now, if you see the dots behind it, pay attention to these when I put these up, because these are some other things I'd like to see them add in. Classic Ring of Honor pay-per-view arenas. You're giving us classic versions of Bryan Danielson, Nigel McGuinness, Samoa Joe, and Punk, right? Why not give us a classic arena to wrestle in? It could just be the weekly one. Maybe you add some parts in there. You need to also, I think, give us the classic ROH championships, the ones that we see in the picture down below. Why not have those in there? And then you could do some updated classic attires if someone else is in there. And that means you can maybe either have them as unlocks or add them to car parts. All right? And that's going to be the kind of stuff that I would love to see this followed up with immediately. My next pack is going to be called the Tag Team Collision Pack. Why is that? I like the name. It helps with branding for the new show. And Tag Team Collision. Now, there are 3 tag teams that I haven't seen officially confirmed. I don't know the roster, so these people could be in, and I'm going to be really cheesed off, and I wasted my time doing this, but it was fun making it. I think these are 3 tag teams that are missing from the build of the game to make tag team wrestling a little more fun and still spark that original AEW like feeling when they started Dynamite and everything. Private Party, Santana and Ortiz, and the Butcher and the Blade represent Buffalo, baby. So this is what I like for this. Now, you could add in a slobber knocker mode. What is that? One guy's in the ring, similar to No Mercy, just beating people down. And it's a one-man Royal Rumble show, basically. And you can unlock and earn money that way to get parts for the cause or whatever that you could buy from that AEW shop. I also added inner circle attire parts for maybe you want to add some stuff for Sammy. Maybe you want to add some stuff in there for Jericho. You know, like the biker jacket, some throwback stuff. Why not have that in there, right? And then you could add some additional car parts because you got to have that stuff in the game for people. It's that simple, in my opinion. You just go to that and then you keep it moving. Next, Legends. We got to take care of our legends in these games. We have the AEW Legends pack. You would get Taz and Jerry Lynn as the twofer, Arn Anderson and Dean Malenko, the former Four Horsemen. You see, ECW Four Horsemen. And then Jake and Mark don't really fit together. Maybe you could say classic WWF, but you would get those guys in there because I think you should make use of the people you have backstage and sign them to video game deals as well. For this, you could get the Owen Hart Cup championships brought into the game so that people can use them. Cool belts, why not use them? The Hart Family Dungeon as an arena, or maybe it's a backstage area, whatever. You could do something like that. And then maybe you add something like Surfer Sting car parts. Why? Nobody's going to like be upset that you added more. So no complaints from me on that one. The next pack idea that I have, give me the mic, baby. It's trios packs. Now, you see there's only 2 teams for this because that would equal 6. You could get the Acclaim with Daddy Ass. Get them scissors out, baby. You guys can get them as one pack, and then you guys can also get the Dark Order to finish completing them out. I can't believe Uno's not in the game and he does all this work for it. What are we doing? We got to put Uno in the game. So you would probably get trios matches if this is possible. I know this may not be. The trios titles, and you can update some attires that needed to be updated for this pack. Boom. Pretty simple, pretty easy. You can get into it. Another pack idea that I had. This is a different one. Here it's called the Combat Firm Training Pack. Now, here you would have Big Bill and Lee Moriarty. You could also add in Claudio and Wheeler Yuta, that menace. And you could also have Serena Deeb and Emi Sakura. Now, with this, you would end up getting the Nightmare Factory, or you could call it QT's Gym if you don't want any association with Cody. We don't know how those are. You could do some gym mini games because people were complaining that the Road to Elite don't have the mini games in there properly. Add those in, and then you could also do QT Marshall's bonus, like add him as a created character. Maybe you just put the parts in for QT to be created. I think that would be something that's pretty cool that you could end up doing with that. Just my thoughts and opinion on that. Now, here's one. I don't know how people are going to feel about this, but this one would be the Jericho Appreciation Society pack. Yes, I know. But I think you could do fun marketing with this one by having Jericho film vignettes for the YouTube channel and get on the AEW games. It would be a great way to bolster things up. So, with this pack, you are going to get Lionheart Chris Jericho. I think a lot of people appreciated that when they had that in. And you would get him with Jake Hager because they are joint at the hip at these point, these two. So I think that would work. Then you could add in 2.0, Daddy Magic Matt Menard and Cool Hand Angelo Parker. They work great. I would love to have them in the game, and it bolsters that tag division again. Daniel Garcia, you got to have him. I might need to ask you to add that dance in, you know, Buffalo style, another Buffalo kid up in here. And the Painmaker, Chris Jericho. Cool, right? I think the coolest part are the dots above. You guys could get the Jericho Cruise Arena. Why not add the parts in? For those who don't know, Super Liger was played by Chris Jericho in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Add in Super Liger, and then you can add in the Golden Lion Jericho parts for when Jericho was wrestling in Mexico. Who's going to complain about that? It's a win pack, and you have action figures of that version of Jericho. Add it in. Boom. I would hope that they would be able to do something like that. Just me. Now, we're not done. Tag Team Collision Pack 2 comes back. Another idea. Add in AEW official Bryce Remsburg to the pack because you have Aubrey and other officials added in. Why not? You have Aubrey and Rick Knox in. Why not add in Bryce Remsburg? You could get a mini game. Whack a wrestler using Jeff Jarrett's guitar. Why freaking not? It would be fun. And you could add additional tag team parts to the shop or to the Create a Wrestler parts. Just throwing these ideas out. And then for the teams, you got the Guns, former tag team champs, Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Got to add these two in. And then you could get Top Flight, who I think would have a really cool moveset out of everybody. You know? You're getting some fun tag team moves, some good double teams. Jarrett and Lethal can allow you to add in some classic double team moves. I personally like that pack a lot, and I think it would be beneficial. You got to have these packs be appealing to people. And if you thought we were done with Ring of Honor, no, 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 no. The Ring of Honor 2-pack DLC would add in people like Christopher Daniels, Matt Sydal, Colt Cabana, Dalton Castle, and The Kingdom. Now, this you could add in getting the current Ring of Honor arena that Tony Khan uses, current Ring of Honor championships, and you can update some more people's Ring of Honor attires. There are reasons to get into some of these things, and then you can have other outskirt packs to help build things up. What do you mean? I mean, you can get into something like, we built this house. All of these people have houses involved in them. I put bricks behind them for a reason in this. You could have it where you would get into the DLC ideas for the House of Black. You've already got Alistair, Malachi, whatever you want to call him, in the game, right? He's in, but we don't have the rest of the house. So this is a good way to add Brody King, Buddy Matthews, who just had a crushing match. He crushed it with Andrade on Collision, and Julia Hart. There you go. You're bolstering the women's division roster. Love it. Swerve could be a part of this. Now, Swerve's by himself, but for good reason, because I think with Swerve, you're going to want to tie in those bullet points above, like the All-In Arena and Swerve would just be one pack to itself. I love it. That's why I put All In above here. And why is that here? Because that was what helped build the house that AEW built. It works, right? And then the Outcasts, you would update Ruby Soho, who's in the game, but then you could also add in Saraya and Toni Storm, who are a big part of the women's roster today. I think that they would be people that you don't want to leave out. So we got that going for us. Next pack idea, Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door. Shout out to my guys at the Pro Wrestling Shoot. They talked about this as well, and I fully agreed. I've been talking about this since they started working with New Japan. I'm going to the Forbidden Door show in Toronto. I cannot wait. I am super excited for this, and I'm hoping you guys get to see this before I'm gone for that show. But look at what we could do for this. You have Kazuchika Okada and Tanahashi right here. That's a money pack. People will go crazy for this. People who are going to the Forbidden Door show, they're buying this pack. It's a done deal. Adding Will Ospreay and Jeff Cobb, homie, like come on, dude. Come on. And then add two legends in there. Great Muta and Jushin Thunder Liger. I will go crazy. Liger and Muta are two of my favorites from New Japan. Got me into New Japan Pro Wrestling as a kid. Add in the Forbidden Door arena. Red Shoes as the referee. And additional New Japan parts. Maybe you add in Liger's mask. Different things like that. Money. Money, bro. I would pay for that. Easy. Easy. And it doesn't have to stop there. You can get into international packs as well. You could have something with Tomohiro Ishii and Shibata. They're great. Shibata's the current pure Ring of Honor champion. You would want that. You would also have Jamie Hayter. And all these people are from different countries. That's why I picked this. Jamie Hayter. Okay, she's in. And then she's been a former women's champ. She's also in a feud with the Outcasts. It works. Taya Valkyrie, a legend, also in the women's world of wrestling all across the globe. I would love to have her. And then you could have Konosuke Takeshita. I don't know if we're going to get that newer version of him. Depends on how long you want to delay this. And Bandito. Money. You get the AEW International title updated because it went through a recent name change from the All Atlantic. They leveled it up to the International title. You get a new International arena parts. Maybe you want to make the Tokyo Dome. I'm just putting it out there. Give us some parts for some bigger arenas. Maybe you want to make an arena that AAA travels to in Mexico. Give us all that stuff. Why not? You can get some car parts and maybe even unlock Don Callis or give the pieces to make Don Callis. Add his face scan into the car parts so that people could beat up Don Callis. I know I'd love to. Add him in. You hear the heat he's been getting. Come on. Who's not going to want to do that? And getting into this, then you got to get a little creative with some of these packs. Ring of Honor's not done. A third pack for Ring of Honor you could do. Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly going up against Willow Nightingale, Athena. And then you could also have a pack for Mercedes Martinez and Chris Hero, who recently we heard was working backstage. I would have added Jimmy Jacobs to this, but I made all these before I knew Jimmy Jacobs was working backstage. For Pack of Honor 3 DLC, add in the current pay-per-view arenas. Look, we're still talking other things that we could do. You could add in more classic Ring of Honor championships. You're like, Conrad, didn't you say that already in the first one? Yes. But those were the silver championships. There have been other eras of Ring of Honor. Why not put those titles in? Some people, that's their favorite belts. It's a good mix. Ring of Honor has a rich history. Use it. And you can update some more classic ROH attires on people. Maybe you get Adam Cole in here. Maybe you add Adam Cole's Kingdom attire. Why not? Maybe you add Adam Cole in the Bullet Club. Maybe you have classic Christopher Daniels. These are the things that I want people just to foresee that they could do. All right? Don't limit yourself in your options and what else you can do with this game. Next up, Tag Team Collision Pack 3. Why not add in some good people that you can get in here? Now, you could get Roosh, and then I put Preston Vance with him, but I think you can do 2 attires for him. Why not have the Dark Order version in case some people like that version better? And then you could add in his new faction partner, Roosh, and you could have him wearing the dress pants and everything else. Multiple attires for Preston Vance. Why not? I think the Bullet Club Gold would be another perfect way to set this off. I've been putting people in the middle who I think would be like the focus of what people would want. Jay White and Juice Robinson. Yes and yes. I love Juice. Very underrated. Jay White killing it so far since he's been in AEW. And then Aussie Open. I can't believe Tony signed them. I was like, I gotta sneak them in this when I was first doing this. Why not add in something like a tournament mode to where you can add tournaments in? I love that in No Mercy. Put that in. How about create an event or a pay-per-view? Another cool way to add things in and just add to the presentation, even if it's just words or however, like they did it in No Mercy, right? It just helps you feel like you built this and you created this. And then you can add in a mini game. Why not another like Bullet Club Gold Hunt mini video game and you're looking for gold coins or things like that? Why not? I haven't looked at any of the other stuff, so if you're like, hey, Conrad, that's already in, I missed it, player. I didn't see it. But listen, I'm not going to hold you guys all day. I want to keep this video under 20 minutes, and I think we've done a good job for that. So listen, if you guys haven't, go pre-order AEW Fight Forever. Game looks really good. Ukes and THQ Nordic absolutely crushing it right now. Really looking forward to the game. If you get that Elite Edition pre-order, you get the game a day early. I'm really looking forward to this. Thank you guys so much. If you guys are watching, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave us some comments down below on what you thought of some of the packs or what are your ideas for DLC for AEW Fight Forever. We're out. Peace.